I have glasses on today because I feel like it. They're also prescriptions, so I kind of need them, it's just more comfortable. Welcome back to the series that was supposed to be every month, but it's been nearly 3 months since I made the last one, I'm sorry, but it's back now, yay! It's a new year, let's just blame it on January. Everything is January's fault. Hey Spuds, how's it going? I hope you are well. Thank you for clicking on this video and welcome back to another video. My name is Jamie. I don't know why I said it like that. So this is episode 2 of all the tea trans news, and part of the reason why it's taken me so long to make an episode 2 is it turns out that there's not always a big flurry of trans news happening, and really I think that can be quite a good thing sometimes, because generally a lot of the trans news that we see is kind of negative, so sometimes it's nice for just a little bit of peace and quiet. Although saying that, I am recalling a few big things that have happened, a couple big things that have happened that I covered in their own separate videos, notably the LGBT Alliance being even more transphobic and JK Rowling supporting a transphobe Maya Forstater. I covered them in their own videos, I think I already said that, but the links are down below if you want to go watch them after this one. Maybe there has been more happening than I thought. Anyway, in this installment, our top 3 news stories of the week, month, every 3 months, I don't know. I feel like I need to have some paper and be like, yes, welcome back to the news. I don't have a desk though, just my knees. Anyway, top 3 stories, they are as follows. Boy George mocked pronouns and called them a modern form of attention seeking. My glasses are slipping. Apparently, some people feel the need to have a stricter definition of the term non-binary. And finally, major makeup YouTuber Nikkie Tutorials has come out as transgender. So, first up, Boy George. Boy George. Boy George. Boy George. Boy George. Boy George. If you say that too quickly, it runs into one. It's like Boyge. So I will stop saying it now. But yes, first up, Boy George. I said it again. And in case you hadn't noticed, I'm trying to subtly point out that Boy George literally has a gendered term in his name, and yet was mocking pronouns, another gendered term. Apparently he believes that pronouns should be left at the door. I don't know what door that would be. I don't carry my pronouns around in my pocket, I can't really just leave them. He's been defending this position very strongly on Twitter. I have no idea what prompted this from Boy George. I am not inside his mind. I can't read thoughts. I'm not sure where this came from. It feels a little bit left field and just kind of ignorant and unnecessary. And even more unnecessary and kind of ridiculous when you think about Boy George as being somebody who had to face a lot of ridicule and shit in his life for the way he expresses himself, and is now mocking other people because he doesn't fully understand or agree with their expressions. I will never understand how people who have gone through something fighting to be accepted and seen for their true selves can turn it around and throw the same shit back on other people. Doesn't make sense to me. And tweets from people like this always draw in the transphobes and make them feel more validated in their bigotry, because they're like, oh, this celebrity, this high profile person is supporting my point of view. I can now be more vocal about that, and I can now bully more trans people. Groups like the LGBT Alliance have supported Boy George and his tweet about pronouns and outed themselves as even bigger assholes. Yay! They are really all over anything to do with dissing trans people. Other people have shared their opinions too and agreed with Boy George, including the very first winner of RuPaul's Drag Race UK, the Vivian. Not gonna lie, it's kind of disappointing to see this. But yeah, the Vivian has since apologised for this, albeit a bit weakly, yeah, but there's been an apology. Personally, I wouldn't automatically label someone as transphobic just for these tweets alone, but sometimes people really need to take a step back, or maybe a few hundred steps back, just some steps backwards, and really think about the bigger picture and think about the weight that words can carry, because a tweet that just seems like a throwaway thought from somebody, or a curiosity, or just not understanding something and putting it out there in a certain way, it can really seem like shitting on a whole community of people and giving power to the people that hate them. So basically, this felt like a big F you to the trans community, and then kind of lifting up the people that don't like trans people. That was a very messy explanation. I hope you understood what I'm trying to get at. A tweet that can seem harmless can carry a lot of weight and give a lot of power to people who are transphobic and have those kind of views. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's just so dumb. Like, why? Why did it even need to be said? Next up, and a similar topic of things being said when maybe they should just be left alone, is Ariel Scarcella, who gets involved a lot on trans topics and is not trans herself. And she got involved again by recently tweeting that we need stricter definitions of what words like non-binary mean. Yeah, who is we? That's what I want to know. On one hand, bringing more understanding and awareness to non-binary people is a great thing. I think that often a misunderstood and misconstrued community. But here's the situation, right? It's pretty difficult to have a strict definition of a term that is supposed to capture more than one identity. And it can also mean different things to individual people, specifically those outside the gender binary. Which brings me on to the point of saying that I think that the definition of non-binary is pretty self-explanatory. It's a term for identities outside the gender binary. It does what it says on the tin, and I think there is absolutely no need to request or think that there should be any stricter definitions or imposing of stricter definitions on this or on the people who use this term. Feeling uncomfortable with or not accepting or not fully understanding something is not a good enough reason to put a label on people who do not wish to be labeled or who do not wish to be labeled in that way. It can sometimes come across that suggestions like this are simply put out there to be controversial and not actually have any intention on progressing anything. They range from unnecessary to damaging, and sometimes unnecessary and damaging and unnecessarily damaging. And I really think it's time to learn when to stop digging. Cis people can certainly talk about trans things. I'm not trying to say, oh, if you're cis, you're never allowed to talk about trans topics. But if something's being said for the sake of controversy or views or just to cause a bit of drama, then maybe it's best to take a step back and think about it. The most important thing to do is listen to the experiences of multiple members of any one community and not just assume that one person's narrative or two people's narratives that happen to line up are then the same experiences that everybody else has or the same views that everybody else has on this community. Finally, in big news, makeup YouTuber Nikkie Tutorials has come out as transgender. I watched her video, obviously would be a bit weird and very unprofessional newscasty broadcaster presenter person if I had not watched it, and it was very powerful. Like, go Nikkie, you are amazing. Like that video was a powerful video.
I can't believe I'm saying this today to all of you for the entire world to see, but damn, it feels good to finally do it. It is time to let go and be truly free. When I was younger, I was born in the wrong body, which means that I am transgender.
It really came across that this was obviously something that took a lot of strength and consideration on Nikkie's part, and her comments about still being the same person and that nothing has changed is such an important point. It's such a big thing to say, and I think it's a really important thing to say, and it's a really important thing for people to understand.
But there's one thing that I really want to make so clear to all of you. I am me. I am still Nikkie. Nothing changes about that.
A huge thing about this coming out in particular, and I'm not just talking about the views on the video, is that Nikkie really took back control of a situation that must have been very frightening for her. She was basically blackmailed by people threatening to out her and try to ruin her career. And I have a massive respect for her in taking back control of that situation and making it her own.
I have been blackmailed by people that wanted to leak my story to the press. And at first, it was frightening. It was frightening to know that there are people out there that are so evil that they can't respect someone's true identity. It is vile and it is gross. And I know you are watching this. They said they wanted to leak it because I'm lying, or that I don't want to tell my truth, or because they feel like I'm too scared for people to know who I truly am. I'm not scared. So to the people who tried to blackmail me and thought they could really mess up my life with that, this one's for you. I hope you can sit nice on it.
Serious F you to the people who are blackmailing her though. I also really struggle to say blackmailing. But who does that? Blech. Coming out should always be that person's decision and should always be done on their terms. It is nobody else's right to force someone to come out. Ever. Ever. But seriously, respect for how she went about this and how she took back control of this situation. And I really hope the people who blackmailed her or tried to blackmail her are now feeling super mad about the hundreds of thousands of subscribers she's gained since posting her coming out video. I know that views and subscribers aren't everything, but I'm sure she was hugely nervous about how her audience was going to react and YouTube communities in general were going to react and how this might affect her career. And it's such a big win to see the likes on this video, the views on this video, the responses on Twitter and in the comments of her video, and the support from her wider viewership and also notable people online and within the industry. Whilst I'm so glad that the reaction for Nikkie has been amazing, another great reaction about this big reveal is absolutely nothing. And that's exactly how it should be. Nikkie is still amazing at makeup and is still killing it as she has been. And so the moral of today's news is as follows. I think it's technically morals, and they are as follows. Some people really need to think more before they tweet, and turning blackmailing into a powerful coming out is the ultimate badass move. Now, this has been a rather positive-ish episode of trans news, but despite that, as always, as for the second time, here are some positive stories to end the video on a very happy note. First up, British trans couple Hannah and Jake Graff are expecting their first baby together, which is so adorable. Pakistan has extended free healthcare to trans people for the very first time. And whilst not specifically trans related, but a big win for the LGBT+ community as a whole, gay marriage has now officially been legalised in Northern Ireland. It's about time. And a special shout out to Chris, who is a strongman from Northern Ireland, who was featured in the first season of True Love or True Lies. He has been a strong advocate for legalising gay marriage in Northern Ireland and got engaged to his partner on the first day of Pride season and didn't think that he would be able to get married for a long time, but now he can. So yay, that's awesome. But yeah, that's everything for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the second installment of this. I will try and make another one in less time than 3 more months. If you have anything you would like to share or just let me know how the video was, then leave your comments down below. And yeah, think about giving it a thumbs up and subscribing if you want to, but no pressure if you don't. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye!